The January transfer window is here. We've signed some big players for our side, wonder kids who could go on to be some of the best we've ever had at the club. We've also got the title race intensifying as we get closer towards the end of the season, and a must-win match in the Europa League, all coming in this video. So strap yourself in, let's run the intro and get right into it. Hello everyone, Jake here. Welcome back to the Aberdeen series. I hope you're all doing very well. As you can see, based on the left-hand side here, we have lost the top of the table spot, but only just on goal difference currently. So it's a very competitive league table. Like I mentioned in the intro, we've also got a Europa League game today. We'll be doing two matches, one against Dundee United in the league, a rivalry match. And then we've also got our match in the Europa League, but it doesn't stop there. As mentioned, we've had a January transfer window and also a bit of an update in terms of what we're doing with some of the younger players at the club. But first, I want to ask you guys if you can keep up that amazing support that you've been giving me by smashing the like button and dropping a comment down below. Every comment helps and I'll read every single one and get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you to everyone who has been supporting this series. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're this many episodes in, hopefully you can. But I'm delighted to say that this video is sponsored by the guys over at Pookie. If you don't know about Pookie, it is a platform where you're able to predict football scores across loads of leagues in the world, and you get points based on your score predictions. If your predictions do well, you can rise up the leaderboard and win different prizes. There's plenty to be won. You can get Pookie balls, which allow you to have modifiers on the points that you earn. For example, my one currently has a boost on Nottingham Forest predictions, so if I happen to get a Forest score right, I get a tiny bit of a boost on that. And it really is great fun. It's a fairly new platform. It's starting to grow, so go and give it a go. Check it out using the link that I'll put in the description. If you click that link, sign up and make your predictions. Let me know in the comments down below. You'll probably hear a bit more about Pookie going forward. I'm likely going to do a few more shorts about my predictions. So thank you very much to Pookie for sponsoring, and let's get back to the Aberdeen series, shall we? Firstly, I'll fill you in on what we've been doing since you last saw us, which was the League Cup final, the disappointment against Hibs. It's not been too long since then, but we beat Ross County away from home, then St Johnstone, and then Inverness. We drew to Hearts away, beat St Mirren, and then drew to Nice in the Europa League. Alex Collado for them, scoring two beautiful free kicks in the same game. You'll see Wilhelmsson has been on the score sheet a few times, and now we have a game against Dundee United in the league, and then Braga away in the Europa League. Now, if we look at where we are, yes, as I've mentioned, we are joint top with Celtic in the league, but the Europa League, we're not in a terrible position. We're sitting 15th. There's 36 teams in the competition currently. I feel like that means we're doing pretty well. Braga are below us in 20th place, and if we can beat them, I imagine that means we're through to the next stage. I think we're out of the possibility of getting these top 8 spots, but I still think other people qualify too. Not too sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure that is the way that it works. So yeah, both matches are very important today in making sure that we keep up our trophy push for the season after losing out on the Premier Sports Cup. But to help us, I have made a few transfers. Firstly, we've bought in Goncalo Esteves, a 20-year-old right back. We signed him from Sporting CP out in Portugal. Played a couple times for us so far, hasn't really settled, but is someone that our scouts have been telling us to go for 4 years. He didn't cost us that much either, if I click in the right place. There you go, 1.7 million. Not the biggest fee in the world for a player who's now valued at around 8 or 9. Chances are we'll sell him on for a profit in the future, or he'll become a huge part of our team. Definitely looks like he has a lot of room to grow, great at going forward, and we're very happy with him at right back to slowly phase out Darnell Fisher. And even though we didn't necessarily need another inside forward or a winger style player, I decided we had to go for Oscar Pereira when our scouts brought back the report on him, and we saw how cheap we could get him for. He is a Colombian under-20 capped international. He's coming from Colombian side Atlético Nacional, where he did very well. We've paid £1.8 million for him, which seems like a bargain. Very quick, great crosser, decent finisher, good first touch, good at passing as well. This guy hopefully will be the future of our team, and much like when we bought Diaz and sold him on for a huge profit, I feel like Pereira is our next player in that ilk, someone that's of a super talented nature. If he can adapt to life here at Aberdeen and start firing the goals, he will be worth way more than the fee that we paid for him. Very happy to sign him. We've still got another few deals that we're trying to get done, but what I do want to show you is what we've done here. We partnered with Montrose as an affiliate club not too long ago, and we've used it as a team to basically send out a lot of our good young players. So we've decided to loan out a bunch of our dev centres, some to Montrose and some to other teams in League 1, League 2 out in Scotland. A lot of our best talent is now out there, and hopefully the ones that stand out and do well can can come back and be part of our first team. For example, Brandon Hunter looks like he has a lot of potential, a brilliant deep line playmaker potentially. He's gone to Ayr United where he played in the Cup and did very well and is getting league appearances. And yeah, overall, we're very happy with the setup we've got here. The young players are out on loan. We've brought in some quality talent this season. All of these players are players that we can build around for the future. All young, all very talented, and now hopefully some of them can help us get over the line here in this match against Dundee. I'm going to use a rotated side compared to the team we'll use in the Braga match in the Europa League, so I'm going to go for Neverstich still, but then Richardson, Sevelic, Caro, who are both still asking for game time. We're trying to give it them to appease both of them. Wilson, Esprand, and Dor, Clarkson, McCory, Vinny and Pereira. Is that what I want to do? I feel like I would rather play someone else on this right-hand side. Why not give Ryan Duncan a game? And then we'll put Duke on the bench and give him the chance to play. Miofsky can start. I'm fine with that. So let's get into this game, shall we? At least 2 goalkeepers need to be in the squad. Oh, okay. Guess we can do that. I've never had that come up before, but we'll do it. Ryan Duncan, yes, just let me play the bloody game, Football Manager. And they're letting me. We're finally allowed to go through into the match. We've been doing well. We're on a good run. Hopefully the players respond to that and we can go out and get another win here. Even though, to be honest, in the last few games, we have looked a little bit sluggish. Not like terrible or anything like that, just maybe not playing at the level that we might want to. Ryan Duncan is an interesting one. Really hasn't got much game time this year because of the players that we've had come in. I've tried to loan him out, but no one seems to want him. So we'll kind of judge at the end of this season whether it's worth cashing in or whether we should, use him in our first team a bit more. But he's getting a chance here today, probably his first few appearances of the season. Hopefully he can show us what he's made of and earn that place on the right-hand side and really compete with Volomark. But we are down 1-0. Shea Charles has scored for Dundee United. They had a good chance early on, which we saved. It went out for a corner. And then it just looked too easy for them, to be honest. An easy corner in. He rises and beats 3 men in the box. Heads it into the far corner. A good header once he connects with it. But very disappointing start for us, and we want to do better from here, so hopefully we can push on. It's not completely unlike us to have to come back and win a game. Seems to be something that we do on quite a regular basis. But hopefully this game isn't too challenging and doesn't force us to play extra time and all of that stuff, because we do want to keep everyone fit for that important Europa League match. But here's Ryan Duncan trying to impress, takes the shot, Steele saves, it's gone over the bar, but that's what we want to see, cutting in from that side and taking the chance. Clarkson is going to try and follow in with the corner. Can we score the same way that they scored? It's close, but it's headed away as far as Ross McCory, who has a chance to put the ball back in if he can, but he has been tackled, and that'll be the end of that for now. But that's good pressure from us. Hopefully if we can keep this up, we can find that early equaliser. And the players seem to think it could come already because there's another highlight straight away after the ball went out. It's Ross McCory yet again. Very poor ball in from him. Hopefully we can win it back up here. He's chasing, but it doesn't quite work out, and now it will be Dundee United going forward again. There is a break on. They've committed a lot of people forward there, and here's Oscar Pereira, the newbie, for his first goal. Oof. Just goes over. He is a better crosser than he is a goal scorer, so I was thinking about changing it round and making him an inverted winger instead of an inside forward, but I decided at the end of the day I don't want to completely disrupt the team just for one player. He'll have to adapt and learn that inside forward role, but oof. Dundee United are looking on it today. They came very close there. Realistically, they do deserve to be in front at this stage, so we really need to show something else if we are to stay in this Scottish Cup. But here's a highlight where it might be us on the ball. It's McCory, finds Ryan Duncan. It's a good ball from him to Miofsky. Miofsky's in, rounds a goalkeeper and tucks it away with accuracy. His 18th of the season. He might actually be our top goal scorer this year. Kind of wrote him off last year, tried to sell him this summer. Obviously, Duke did so well last season. This season, because of Wilhelmsen's arrival, we've kind of pushed Duke out of that starting 11, which has disrupted him a little bit. But when we call on Miofsky, he probably plays like once a week, to be honest, with the amount of games that we're playing. But when we call upon him, he always does a good job. So that's a good little equaliser from us there. Ryan Duncan with a nice ball through, gets himself an assist, and hopefully we can just push on from this point, not let Dundee United have any more chances, and just start to control the game a little bit better than what we have been doing. And here's Andres Caro. We've played it through the midfield. We've gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, and it's volleyed by Neverstich rather bravely, and it falls to Endor at the base of the midfield, whose transfer we still haven't made permanent yet. I'm kind of arguing with him with a contract situation. He is on loan currently. There's an option to buy for 1.5 million. We will do it, but I'm just waiting for the right moment, because every time I seem to get to a contract negotiation with him, he wants a lot of money, and I mean, £15,000, which is a lot for a player in an Aberdeen side at the minute, way more than what we're paying anyone else. So we're just kind of waiting it out right now until we can get him on a lower fee. But again, Dundee United going very close there. All the possession that we've had, but Dundee have had the most chances. But maybe a little bit of quality will get us the goal. It's a ball in from Clarkson. We might have a penalty. I don't know what for. Apparently a handball from someone called Graham. And now it will be Miofsky to try and get his second of the game. Very nearly misses, but he does end up hitting it into the back of the net, right into the top left corner. We're 2-1 up just before half-time. Miofsky has done the job for us from the spot. It was pretty close though, like he put it there. I don't know whether the goalkeeper saved it and it went in, or whether it just hit him on the back after it struck the bar. Either way, we won't care. It's in the back of the net. We are 2-1 up, and that's exactly what we would have wanted going into half-time. Although ideally, they wouldn't have scored at all. But if we can make it 3-1, even better. Here's Clarkson with the corner. He floats it in. Sherendor tries to go for it. He can't quite get there. We're going to keep the pressure on. And it's Sevelic of all people was that who nearly scored. That would have been an impressive goal from him for sure. But that's some good late pressure in the half there. If we can keep that up, we should cruise with this game now. Very happy with the amount of shots. Let's keep it going. Hopefully we can add another goal or two so we don't have to worry as much. And interestingly as well, I was thinking with Estevez and Pereira, they're both coming from different countries where they don't speak the language. And often I find in FM, once they pass their language course or learn the language, they seem to do way better in the team. So kind of just waiting out for that with Pereira, really. I'm not expecting him to take the world by storm straight away. Even with Fabrizio Diaz, when we first signed him, he wasn't crazy good. It was only after 6 or 7 months where he really became that top draw player that we knew he could be. So I'm not going to rush Pereira here. I'm just going to give him the game time he needs to adapt and learn his teammates. And all they need is that one goal for confidence, learn the language, and he will be flying, I'm sure, because he definitely has the attributes to be a great player for us. Very, very quick and pacey on that side. Oh, but Dundee United are in again. It's a great save from Neverstich. He's done really well there to stop that going in, but we are being cut apart far too easy here, often down the centre. Not good enough really in that sense, but we're going to try and counter-attack with Jaden Richardson. Miofsky's in the middle. Can he cross it to him? He can. Miofsky shoots. He should have scored, but he hits it right at the goalkeeper, and he nearly had his hat-trick there, Miofsky, but it wasn't to be. Here's Pereira on the left-hand side, though. We've got a highlight straight after. He doesn't beat his man. He loses it, and now Dundee United will go up the other end. Wilson Esperan's trying to chase back, but he can't. Chalmers, brash, Neverstich with another brilliant save. We might need to change something here because they are cutting through us like butter right now, and they're getting too many easy shots at goal. If it wasn't for Neverstich, we would certainly be losing right now. If we can survive this corner, it'll be time to make some changes, and it looks like we have. So let's go and have a look at what subs we can do. Centre-back's not having the best of games, so let's get on Joris Gagnon. I'll leave Caro on because he's not playing too awfully. Sherendor will bring off for Connor Barron. We'll drop Leighton Clarkson back a little bit. We'll bring off Pereira for Volomark here and then put him on that side. We'll also bring on Ibrahimovic on the left and then one more sub. And I think for the final sub, we'll probably just leave it in case we need it. There's some good talent on the bench, but there's no point using them if we don't need to. And you never know, if someone gets red carded or injured, we might need an extra man. We don't want to be out of subs just yet. But this highlight is still carrying on. It's Clarkson with a good ball forward to Miofsky on the hat-trick. He scores, and I think now I'll sub Miofsky off. Now that he's scored 3, we'll let Duke get a run out and maybe even start Miofsky against Braga. If he scored a hat-trick like that, kind of has to start, doesn't he? Then again, Wilhelmsson is also an exceptional talent and scores most of the time he's on the pitch. But brilliant finish from him, brilliant counter-attack, great ball from Clarkson to put Miofsky through. Who would have thought when we first started this Aberdeen save, the striker that we started with there would be scoring hat-tricks for us 3 years in. Miofsky is just an incredible talent, and I would probably sell him if we got a good offer, but very happy for him to stay around in the long term as a striking option for us with Wilhelmsson. But there we go. It looks like we're going to hit the 90th minute mark with a 3-1 win, although a cheeky backheel free kick from a Dundee United player, and they try and knock it forward for a chance, but Richardson does well. Never seen a free kick taken like that. A very strange one to do when you're 3-1 down, but you know what? Whatever their manager wants them to do, go ahead. He's losing 3-1, so I couldn't care less. Here is Volomark on the right-hand side, who is going to start that game in the Europa League. He finds Duke. Duke is through. It's a poor shot, saved, and he was miles offside by the looks of it. And that is probably going to be that for this game. And we are through in the Cup. But no, one more highlight, maybe 4-1, maybe 3-2. Either way, we're definitely through at this stage. Duke wins the header. It bounced around a little bit, not too much happened, and it's ended up with them coming forward. Wilson Esperand intercepts. Here's McCory. He finds Duke. Can Duke use his pace to get in the middle? He can. He's pulled it across to Connor Barron, who puts it away for 4-1. We dominate the match in the end, win 4-1. Great play from Duke. Good finish from Barron. Another goal from him this year. It's Definitely his best season for us so far, Connor Barron. A brilliant, incisive counter-attack goal there. We played all the right passes. Duke did exactly what you would want him to do here. Not lash the ball, but instead find a man in the middle who could easily put it away. And there we go, a 4-1 win. That's all sorted. Now we can focus on that Europa League game. Nice victory, everyone. And I'll bring it back when we get to that game, so give me a second. And this, by the way, is one of the negatives of sending your assistant manager to do your conferences for us. They've asked him about Bojan Miovski's performance, and he's gone, basically, he's brilliant. He's better than Kylian Mbappe. Not quite sure. I mean, I definitely prefer having Mbappe here at Aberdeen, but you know what? We'll let the assistant say what he wants to say. We're just going to focus on our wins, and that is really interesting, actually. Just a complete side note here, but this player here, Tim Akinola, is playing for Livingston right now, who are doing very well. He's their key player, but the interesting thing about him is I used to play alongside him in my football team at school. He was a player in the year below and was always pretty decent, but I would never have guessed that he would have gone on to do the things that he's gone on to do in this save. He's now moving to Marseille, apparently. Tim Akinola, what a man. Just crazy how these kind of things work. Like, anything could have popped up in that corner, and it's actually a guy that I used to play football with. Can't say I knew him very well. It was only for a few games here or there, but yeah, pretty awesome for him to go over to Marseille. I mean, there is a little bit of time left in the transfer window. Maybe for the sake of it, I just go ahead and try and bring him to our side. And you know what? It might be a completely stupid idea, but we've got a few days left of a transfer window. Just for the sake of it, I might try and make this happen. I might try and bring him to our team. Quick update, we've just signed this guy, Justin Connolly, who I've been working on for a while, just a player for our youth team. I don't think he'll be exceptional, but we've picked him up for about 200k. And if he goes on to do anything, we'll make a nice bit of profit there. All but the Akinola deal has been negotiated. What do they want for him? Or do we pay £2 million for him? How good is he actually? Realistically, we'd use him as a box-to-box. He is left-footed, so he does kind of suit it. He's got the potential to get better. Capped at under 23 level for Nigeria. Good physicals, good mentals, good... Yeah, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it for the sake of the fact that I've played for him. Do we need another midfielder? Maybe, maybe not. Is it the stupidest transfer we've made in this save? More than likely, but we're going to do it anyway. We might have reached a sticking point. I thought that his wages would be about £2,000 a week, £3,000 a week from what I was indicated. His agent's offering like 8, so I don't think I'm going to go for it. It was worth a try, but we're going to pull out of the Akinola deal. Sorry, Tim, I'm going to blame your agent there. We're going to move on, and maybe one day we'll end up bringing him to our team, but for now, it's not happening. Okay, we took a bit of a detour there with that transfer deal, but it is time for the Braga match now, where we are going for this side. Neverstich in goal, Fisher at right back, Caro and Beso as the defenders, Wilson Esbrand, Undor, Ibrahimovic, Barron, Volamark, Pereira and Wilhelmsen. Whether it will be enough to get us over the line, I'm not sure. How much a win means for us and how much a loss means for us, I'm not too sure, to be honest, either. Once the Europa League moves into this league table format that will happen in real life in a few years as well, 3 years in this save, I'm not too sure how everything works. We're just going to try and win all the games, and I feel like if you finish in the top half of all of those people, we've got a very good chance of moving in to the knockout rounds, which is of course what we're after here. If we can get to the knockouts of the Europa League with Aberdeen, who knows how far we could go. Every match we win is like £500,000 at this stage, so maybe it's the same going forward, and we might be on for a potential trophy. Obviously, very, very slim chances that will happen. We'll also have the Champions League teams get knocked out into the Europa League soon, but poses some interesting games that we might end up playing, and it would be good fun if we can go far in this cup. But I think realistically this year, the Scottish Cup and potentially the league title might be our best chances at silverware. But there's Pereira, who's looked great so far. Good shot from Wilhelmsen, good save, but Pereira looked very, very bright in the early highlight there. Hopefully he can keep that up. But Braga are going to try and go up the other end, and it's an error, should I say, from Neverstich in goal. I don't really know what happened there. It looked like there was a header right at him, and maybe he kind of flapped at it. Maybe it hit the crossbar and not him. Can't really tell here. Yeah, okay, maybe he tips it onto the bar and it falls in. I don't know if he's necessarily been blamed for that, Neverstich, because his match rating hasn't gone down all that much. But that is a rough start for us, really. After a lot of possession on our end, most of the chances coming on our end, Braga score with their first real highlight of the game. But we try and go up the other end. It's Wilhelmsen off the post, and they get very lucky from a header. We get very unlucky from ours. That's football for you. It's not always fair. And now it looks like Braga are going to go forward in the hopes of scoring their second. It's a good ball into Vitinha, a brilliant striker he is in both real life and Football Manager, but Football Manager especially, he is going to be a handful to deal with. But Neverstich Stitch makes the save, and the highlight is not over yet. He hits it forward, hits it long. Wilhelmsen does well to challenge, as does Pereira, but it has came down to the player for Braga on that right-hand side. He's played through Vitinha, who we just spoke about. He threads it through to Abel Ruiz, who scored already today, and now he gets his 20th of the season, blasting it into the back of the net. 2-1 to Braga. Feels slightly undeserved, but also, you know what, that's quality footballers for you. They're a team that should be a better team than us. It's a good ball through, a very good pass from Vitinha afterwards, and it was plated for Abel Ruiz. They're running a 4-4-2, which is quite interesting. I haven't seen that too many times in this FM save, but so far XG is still in our favour, as is possession. It just seems the chances that Braga have had, they've tucked away, but we're certainly not out of this game yet. If we can score a goal, all of a sudden everything changes. At the same time though, if Braga get a third, it all looks very unlikely from here, and it is them going forward once more. It's Abel Ruiz, who has already proved a massive threat for us. He pulls it back, it's going to be a shot. Oh, it's found its way into the net for the first goal of the season for whoever this guy is, Nuno Sequeira. Whoever he is, he's just scored a pretty good finish, but it was a little bit of a P-roller. I did think Never Stitch could get there. Kind of just rolled it into the corner. Yes, it was through bodies, but it's almost like he left it assuming it was going wide. And we're now 3-0 down, despite having 1 XG to their 0.68. They've scored 3 goals from 0.68 XG. That is a joke. It's not been a great day for us so far out here. And second half, we'll just be looking to save face, to be honest. We were terrible. Let's see if we can change anything. Good to see Oscar Pereira is having a decent game, though. But the first highlight of the second half is already underway. It is Braga on the ball. If we were to score, who knows what would happen? I mean, if they scored 3 in one half, who's to say we couldn't do that in the second? But Ibrahimovic has found Wilhelmsen. He could square it to Pereira there for an easy goal, but he's only got the goal in his eyes. He's tried for it. It's a good save from the Braga goalkeeper, but that is our best chance of the game so far. And Connor Barron is going to try and follow up with the corner. It's in. Wilhelmsen tries to get his head to it. Doesn't quite work. Falls to Beso. Pereira with the shot, but it's gone over. And we are still 3-0 down, despite a pretty bright start there to the second half. And there's another highlight straight away. This is going to be a longer episode, I feel, with everything that we've got going on. But Wilhelmsen wins it back in a dangerous area. Finds Ibrahimovic, who, by the way, won European Golden Boy. Should have mentioned that. The guy scored 2 goals for us in his whole career here and won the Golden Boy award. Not sure how. Here's Connor Barron. Oh, acres of space to line that shot up. He hits it over. All he needed to do was to get that on target, and that probably causes an issue for the keeper there, but it wasn't to be. And now, this many minutes in, it's time to make some changes. Despite all of our XG in possession, we're not scoring, and that needs to change. So on comes Miofsky, on comes Duke as well. Cafu's just came back from injury for this game, so we're going to bring him on. From there, we're also going to bring on Estevez. We're going to take off Wilson Esprand for Hancock. That is our 5 substitutions. Hopefully, we can just win this half. That's all I'm focusing on right now. We really gave the game away with those 3 silly goals that we've conceded in that small space of time between the 13th and the 37th minute. They took the game away from us, Braga, despite not doing all that much in terms of creating clear-cut chances. But we're just not doing enough on the attack, really. All of our shots have been poor, and 70 minutes in, it is still 3-0. The changes haven't made much of a difference yet, but we're going to try and score now with Duke, who's through. Duke takes a brilliant touch, finishes very well. For a man who has such limited technical ability, according to his attributes, he does very well in front of goal. Brilliant ball down. It was Sheridan Dorr, I think, who played it through. Yes, it was. It was a nice ball from him, but Duke still had so much work to do there. Great touch, great finish. Oof. Lovely goal that is. And it's now 3-1 with 20 minutes to go. And who knows, maybe if we demand a little bit more, we can get another goal and suddenly it becomes interesting in the final 10. And there will be another highlight here, so you never know what's going to happen. It is Braga on the ball. They're playing it around and we are pressing quite high here. So hopefully we can try and nick it back, or maybe it's going to be a 4th goal for Braga, which is looking more likely as the highlight goes on. But we have won it back. It's Hancock to Andres Caro, Sharon Dorr, Connor Barron. We're looking for that run past the defence to play someone in. And Cafu might have found it. No, he's messed up the pass to Miofsky, and it's back in the hands of the Braga players. We're still going to press high in the hopes of doing something. It's a long ball forward all the way to Abel Ruiz, who brings it down and finishes exquisitely. I mean, terrible defending to let him bring it down so easy. The fact that they've not really attacked much at all this game, but scored every time they've gone forward, goes to show how bad our defence has been today. Really not good enough how easy this was for the goalkeeper to get the assist of all people. One long ball forward, Beso can't get there. He's on a yellow, so he can't bring him down. Brilliant touch from Ruiz, brilliant finish, and that'll be game over now. Definitely no chance of a comeback anymore. Now it's kind of just damage limitation. I don't really want to concede any more goals. But we've given it away there again there. João Beso this time going forward. Here's Estevez at right back. Can we see anything from him, the new signing? All we're trying to do, remember, is just win this half so we can win it 2-1. At least we can say that we won one half of football here. And it is Miofsky. That's in. Miofsky with a shot. He finishes brilliantly into the corner, but he might have been offside. We're about to find out. Will the goal be awarded? Will it be disallowed? And the answer is awarded. Okay, I didn't think it would be. I thought that was going to be disallowed, but we have scored. It was a very nice ball forward again. It was Sharon Dorr once more with a brilliant long ball. Miofsky does very well to bring it down and take that shot into the corner. 4-2, so at least we're winning this half 2-1. Still 10 minutes if we want to try and win this game, but I doubt it's going to happen at this stage. Abel Ruiz has been the difference maker today for that Braga side. They go forward again here though, and it's a man on the edge of the area, lining it up, but Hancock intercepts. Pereira is going to try and initiate the counter-attack with Duke, who of course, if anything, is very, very quick, so maybe that will help us on the break here. Here's Estevez on the right-hand side. He's going to come back in, plays a nice ball forward, but it doesn't quite work. We're going to keep the pressure on, and remember, we are a very young team here, so everything needs to be taken with a pinch of salt. But Miofsky scored, he's pinched it back, and he's made it 4-3. But what I was going to say is, yeah, we're not expecting to win these trophies straight away. This is a team that we're hoping will develop and then hopefully dominate in the future. But we've made it 4-3, and, you know, if we hadn't conceded that silly fourth goal, we would have been equal at this stage. And with 5 minutes to go, who's to say what's going to happen here? 4 minutes on the clock, and there is another highlight. I'm not going to touch anything. I feel like we might have the momentum here. And it's us on the ball again, Connor Barron. Barron plays it forward to Duke. Duke is in. He plays it across the box. Miofsky, what a save from their goalkeeper. That's one of the best saves I've ever seen in Football Manager. He gets such a good hand to that. I thought it was a clear goal after we cut it across the box. And we are going to lose 4-3, but it wasn't for the lack of trying. I can only say that, yeah, if we look at the numbers, we did enough to score that game. Just a few players, maybe an issue on my part for not picking Miofsky to start. We end up finishing in 20th place, which isn't... Oh, does that mean we're now out? I should probably check the rule book, right? But I don't know what that means for us. Let's take a look. We've qualified for the knockout playoff round, so we're going to play someone there, I suppose. I don't know who. I assume that's where a Champions League team comes down. We have to play them, and one of us will go through. Hopefully it'll be us, and we can make it further in the Europa League, but we'll show all of that in the next episode. A bit of a longer one today. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Thank you to Pookie for sponsoring the video. Don't forget to like the video if you have enjoyed. Subscribe for more like this, but most of all, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.